Remember Fox News so-called expert and doctor psychiatrist Keith Ablow? He's the guy who said that data rage and smartphones, not guns, were responsible for the Aurora, Colorado Batman movie theater shootings. He's the guy who said that, quote, speaking as a psychiatrist, Joe Biden may be suffering from dementia and may have been drunk during the debate in which he completely embarrassed vice presidential candidate Paul Ryan. He now says in the reporting, they were doing almost like live breaking news of the Oregon school shooting that happened yesterday. We didn't even get to that because we had to talk about the Las Vegas shooting. We had to talk about the Georgia courthouse shooting. We had no time yesterday to talk about the Oregon school shooting. In any case, as the news was breaking about that shooting, Keith Ablow comes on and he says that the real concern around this shooting is that of anti-gun nuts. How absurd is it? First of all, he was asked to speculate on the possible motivations for this shooting. How absurd is it to speculate on that as it is breaking news? What does Keith Ablow know about the motivations? But even more ridiculous to suggest that anti-gun nuttery is a factor here. Let's take a look at the video from, I believe this was early in the morning with Kimberly Guilfoyle on Fox News. Check it out.
Getting the idea that the first thing they should think about is mental health gone awry in this system we have that's so fractured that lets people slip through the cracks. But the anti-gun nuts, they will be out in force saying it's all the guns. I predict, again, we'll find that yet another person who used a gun was compromised by one or more psychological or psychiatric illnesses that could have been detected, because that's how the odds stack up.
Listen, my dad is a psychiatrist. I grew up around psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, licensed social workers. Some of them were quite quirky, I must admit, Lewis. No one would ever think to go on television and make any claim even remotely close to this. And if we analyze the subject, what's nuttier when we talk about gun nuts and anti-gun nuts? What's nuttier? Not wanting so many guns around so that fewer people are killed, or suggesting that it is actually gun safety laws that are causing more problems? You tell me, Lewis. This is just yet more completely irresponsible commentary from so-called Dr. Keith Ablow.
An interesting use of language, David. Of course, we have been using the term gun nuts for a long time. And now Fox, who is very good at using language, comes along with the term anti-gun nuts. And so now I guess we have it on both sides.
Keith Ablow is a guy who needs to be off Fox News, because I understand that it's not really news, right? We know Fox News isn't really news. The term news is not a regulated term. You're allowed to call yourself news even if it's not actual news. But we've crossed the line into straight up irresponsibility. And it's just becoming a completely dangerous institution on Fox News, having Dr. Keith Ablow suggesting all of these absurd theories. He needs to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder who they would replace him with. It seems every expert they have on that channel is just completely insane.